Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a request by Asmund Mosseng, obviously hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and today he's requested the Sherman II. Now obviously this is the British Sherman that obviously you get in the tree, there's obviously the Firefly as well. Personally I prefer the Sherman II over the Firefly, but the Firefly is a completely different discussion for another day. Um, the Sherman II obviously was used in British service, in mainly in the desert campaign. Obviously, we did use them in the Western Front. Obviously, we did send some to the Eastern Front, and well, the Sherman was obviously a pretty good tank during the Second World War, in my opinion. And obviously, I can hear the German keyboard warriors just going, "It was shit. It was so easy to take out. It was nicknamed the Ronson, even though that wasn't even a name till after the war." And things like that. And just, I disagree. The Sherman was a good tank. It just needed to be used correctly. Now, one thing I noticed about the Sherman 2 is that it's actually got better gun depression than most of the M4 Shermans that are actually in game. It has 12 degrees of gun depression, which I don't think, if we just take a quick look, the other M4A1s have. Okay, that one does, and that one does. But if you look, the other Shermans have 10. It's a bit weird because, like, yes, I can see where the extra gun depression comes from because obviously the cast hull, but at the same time, that means the Sherman 2 can work a bit of a better ridge line than the average Sherman. Obviously, being at 3.7 compared to 3.3, which for a cast Sherman makes no sense because this is literally a copy paste of the M4A1, just with a slightly different look. It's well, the only difference that I can find is literally the APCR round. But the M4A1 and the M4A1 French doesn't have that. So why does the British Sherman have it? Yeah, it's an M4A1 essentially. I don't bloody know, but it's just another sign of Gaijin shafting the Allies again. But yep, Asmund requested a Sherman too, so obviously I'm more than happy to oblige. I have left this on the back burner for quite some time, but I still like the Shermans. Obviously, everyone knows I like my Shermans. I love my Jumbos, I love my 76s, and I love the 75s. One thing I would love to see is a Sherman with the M2 75mm cannon. What's the M2 cannon? Essentially take the Lee's gun, the Lee 75, and put it on this tank. That's essentially what it is. But anyway, less about me blabbering because I left me a cracking comment a couple of weeks ago. I think it was something along the lines of, oh, what was it? I need to settle down with, I think it was sugar, no, maple syrup and um, butter because the amount of waffling. Will you now join me in the third game? Oh my god, it's been bad. It has been bad to try to record this tank. First game, wiped out. Second game, wiped out before I could do anything. I don't get why this tank is sat at 3.7. It shouldn't be at 3.7. It can't compete at 3.7 compared to 3.3. Because if we was to be fully up tiered, because luckily we're getting away with 4.3, so it's not as bad. But I'm sorry, why should I have to fight squadrons like this? When come on, out the way, you bellend. Why should I have to fight them when they're tryharding stat padders who just play nothing but like German Panzer IV Gs? Trust me, I've seen guys play Panzer IV Gs all day, every day. Like, I'm not even joking. I saw a guy the other day when I was in my BT7F32, and I shot his Panzer IV, killed it. He then came screaming back into 109 to try and kill me, crashed, died before I could do anything. He then came racing back in a freaking whirlwind to try and find me, but I just outran him. He didn't know where I was, so I just ran to another position, really. We could go to this position, but I think going further down would actually be beneficial. But, oh my god! Like, I'm not saying the Sherman II is a bad tank, far from it. It's actually an alright tank. But when you get loads of tryhards who just sit at range in the most impossible spots to spot him, and they could just one-tap you when you have to actually aim your gun with skill, it's just dumb. And not only that, if we was fully up-tiered, so 4.7 games, it's just bang out of order in my opinion. Oh, hang on, what's that? Oh, see look, KV-1B, 756R. Oh, someone just hit me and made me jump. Alright, let's get him. Rake him with machine guns. That didn't kill you? And I'm being hit with a gun mantlet now by that KV-1, I bet. But look, oh, we are fully up tiered, 4.7. But look at this, what can I do against those tanks? There's a Tipo, there's freaking Panzer IV H's. What can I do against those tanks? Obviously that R3, I don't know where he's gone, but luckily the gun mantlet on the Sherman II is actually pretty good. Most Shermans have a good gun mantlet, but my god. I can hear a plane coming in, it's a Pockerskins. But what can I do against these tanks? Barely anything, that's what. They have my range. I have to manually work out their range. They have to just point and click. Right, I don't know where the R3 is, but he's somewhere in there. But look, Cheeto! This is completely unbalanced. What can I do? And again, R3 just murdered someone. And they've got a flak boss and all! Who just one-tapped someone. And you call this balance? I don't freaking call it balance. If it weren't for the Sherman II's gun mantlet, we'd be dead right now. Flipping, oh. Yeah, the R3 is still down there, so we at least have something to target. If he sticks his neck out again. But that flak boss just literally needs to point and click, and then he's well, he's got our range. And yet we have to crank it in manually by estimating the range. Can I just point out the flak boss also has a rate of fire advantage over us? And someone just put a smoke round as I was about to go for a shot, for God's sake. But this is your standard teaming with the Sherman II. You just get bad teams against hordes of angry Germans. There's nothing I can do. If I drive out in the open, I'm dead. But like I said though, this is not a bad tank. Far from it. It's just you get constant up-tiering. Well, I do. I've always believed in the fuck you list, but even so. I think our best option would be to fall back. Because our driver's pretty badly wounded. Our loader's pretty badly wounded. But no, I think that's the gun. No, it's the gunner that's pretty badly wounded. But I think the best option here is to pull back and retreat, because we can't do anything. Because as I was saying about me and Dave having a theory, we believe that in War Thunder, the more experienced you are, I've said this before, the more experienced you are, the more up tiers you get. And well, it's quite obvious because I've had 3 full up tiers back to back. So, like I say, sorry Asmund, I can't really get anything good out of this tank. That's the problem. I luckily spaded this thing before this whole malarkey began with the whole constant up-tiering. I used to get down tiers in these bloody things, and I'd do really well. But I'm sorry, there's just nothing I can do. But what I can do is, I can at least try to get to a good position. But look, those ridge campers are just going to sit up there, and they're not going to budge. They're just going to keep picking off our tanks, left, right, and center. Absolutely nothing our tanks can do to defend themselves from that. I can't defend myself from that. That KV-1 can't. RE 2001. And of course we don't have the Pintle Mount 50, so we can't aim that high. With the near cupola mounted 50, so we can't aim all that well. But what can I do for this team? Absolutely nothing, that's what. I just scored a hit on that duck, nice. You never know, you might be generous and crash for us. But I bloody doubt it. So now that my gunner's wounded, his ability to actually crank the bloody gun is a lot worse. Got a couple of hits. But I can't do anything. I can't win this game at all. So I'm not going to lose my vehicle for it. I've lost 2 Shermans already for no gain of my own. Because of just constant up tiers and bad teams. So... And like I say, I can't do... I'm not going to show games where I'm just going to die 24/7 because, well, they're not entertaining. At least in this case, I'm trying. I'm not just dying after 2 minutes and then leaving it at that and just saying video over. I'm at least trying to support the team by shooting down these aircraft. Right, okay, let's see if we can... Oh, hang on, there's a KV-1 there. But look, I have to manually aim this. He would just point and click at me. Oh my god, come on. He doesn't have a clue where that sniper fire is coming from. Which is why he's backed up, which I don't blame him. But I can't do anything. If I was on the other side, I'd be doing the exact same thing. Because there's a nice little spot that you can use on the other side as well. We could potentially lob the shot, but that'll just give away our position if we miss. And look, I-15. Why would you bring an I-15? I honestly don't understand. I got the assist on the R3, he died. If you look, there's 4 planes up, for Christ's sake. Come on, come straight at me. That's all I want you to do. Just come straight at me and then I can shoot you. That actually almost hit him. It's 410. Look, our SBAs have only just kicked into life. Oh my god, it's just team dying left, right and center. They have actually pushed up, but Even so, let's leave the gun there and then we can have a look around whilst we're waiting for the 410 to turn around. Right, he's coming back this way. I mean, I've got an assist, so I haven't done nothing at least, but... Oh, G55 grass. The 410's now trying to shoot him with his tail gunners. Well, he's missing. No, hang on. Something's on the A point. I see it. Let's push up and see if we can get a shot. I've just seen it there. It's a flank bus. Oh boy. And he's going to see us. He's got point and click us in a second. That's why I'm hitting reverse. Oh my days. But that flag bus knows where we are now. Pretty certain of that. But there's nothing I can do. And we've got an AA up, we've got BTR who can't kill a single... That's the 410. I've got a hit on something with the artillery, that'll probably be the flak bus. Here's hoping. Well, I hit him, but it didn't exactly do anything. There's a Panzer IV down there. We have got gun depression to do this, so we might be able to get a kill out of this. So this won't be all in vain. Hopefully. Yeah, they've captured all 3 zones. There's barely any of us left. What are you marking? You marking that Panzer IV for me, mate? Because... Well, I see him now, it's just I can't take that shot because, well, A, I don't have accurate line of sight, and 2, or B, he's behind a house, and I don't even know if I can shoot through that house. But, yeah, sorry for that, Asmund, for this sort of battle. There's nothing I can do, I'm afraid. He's smoking up to pull back, I don't blame him. Yep, we got just 1 assist, but we scored a couple of hits as well. I'm going to reverse. I'll quickly check if I need to... Hold on. It's the tank near spawn. I see it, Predator 501. Whatever. But that is literally the best I can do. I just don't have the patience. I honestly don't. We got an extra 5,000 lines, so we didn't do nothing for the team. It's just I could not be bothered. And, well, sadly I couldn't get anything decent for you, Asmund, but I'm sorry, mate, but I don't have the patience anymore. I've had constant battles like this trying to record this, but even so, it got the Sherman II on the channel somewhat. It's just, if I was anyone, I wouldn't drive the Sherman II for a bit. I mean, I've spaded it and I think I've got all the skins on it. I think. No, I don't. I've still got to get skins for it, which is another 26 kills away, and I think I'm going to leave it for a while, personally. But like I say, the Shermans are not bad tanks. They're just getting fucked over with a matchmaker at the moment. The matchmaker's been horrendous from the beginning, and, well, the more experience you get, the more fucked over you get. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the Sherman II. Sorry it wasn't anything interesting, but I did my best. There wasn't anything I could do. But we tried to do the air threat, we tried to do the tank threat, but the 75 just couldn't cut it at full up tier. But Like I say, the tanks are not bad. It's just the teams are garbage. And the matchmaker will screw you over. But whatever, not here to discuss matchmaker. I'll see you all on the next one.